they are the front line in the protection of this county.
Danger is a requirement for law enforcement. Each of you knew that before you volunteered to serve. You stand on the thin blue line between the law-abiding and those that would do us harm. Each morning when you put on your badge, you kiss your family goodbye, and you walk out the door, you do so knowing that you may be called upon to step between the good and the evil, and you know the great risk of personal sacrifice.
Late one night in the fall of 2005, my husband, Floyd County Police Officer Frank Denzinger, called home to check on me and our 8-month-old daughter, Avery. He wanted to make sure everything was good back home. Frank was in Washington, D.C. at the time for thermal imaging training and certification. I told him we were good, rambled on about my day a little bit, and when I was done, he said that he had something that he wanted to talk to me about. He and the other Floyd County police officer that had went for training had been out walking in the mall in Washington, and as it got later and later, they decided they needed to get back home and get some sleep. They weren't too sure about how to get back to the hotel, but figured that the metro would be the fastest way to get there. They departed the metro at a place they thought was near the hotel, but admittedly they were not even exactly sure where they were. Frank described to me how they walked up some stairs, and when they got to the top of the stairway, they walked out into this park-like place. He said it makes you stop and really think and appreciate the lives sacrificed. He then told me that at one point, while looking at the names, he knew at that very moment that I needed to see it. He said he had to bring me there. You need to see it. I told him that that would be awesome to go to D.C. I had never been there, and I would love to visit the memorial. We talked briefly about how much a trip to D.C. would cost and that we had had a baby and all of those things, and decided that we might be able to go in 2007 or 2008. We could save enough by then. In 2008, Frank took me to the wall. But not in the way either of us had ever imagined. I stood in front of panel 3W William 26 and looked at my husband's name etched into the stone. He was right. There were so many names on that wall. There are over 19,000. So many lives sacrificed, so many lives changed forever. National Law Enforcement Week is set aside each year to remember those officers lost in the line of duty. It is difficult to describe to you how much it means to those of us who have lost a loved one who was a law enforcement officer, to know that they have not been forgotten, that they are remembered and thought of. A week ago, I was driving our daughter home from cheerleading when I told her I wanted to talk to her about something important. I explained that every year the good guys take a whole week to remember other good guys that have died while on duty, and that includes her daddy, and that I wondered how that makes her feel. She answered by saying this: "That makes me happy that they remember my daddy." Well, maybe not the bad guys. They don't have to remember daddy. But it makes me happy that the good guys remember daddy. In conclusion, I want to say this. We are here to honor those heroes that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Please know that you too are heroes. I pray all the time for the safety of Indiana's finest and for all the officers of our great nation.